And young everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are back with another video, and I'm not gonna spend too much time doing an intro because I want to make this video 10 minutes, because in 10 minutes I'm going to tell you guys my process and how I got from acknowledged and under review to offer to be made in 4 weeks for the virtual recruitment for Qatar Airways Qatar Duty free. So let's get into the video. On the 10th of May, right, I applied and I just sent in my CV. So the first step is to sending your CV. Number one, it needs to be strong. It needs to be a strong CV. Like, as I said again in many videos of many of my cabin crew videos, you need to make sure your CV is ATS friendly, because before the recruiters check out your CV, I'm telling you, and you should know this by now, AI checks out your CV first and it scores you out. And if AI deems your CV as not good enough, unfortunately your recruiter may never see your CV because AI takes it out. So make sure your CV is strong. So make sure it's ATS friendly. As I said in my other videos, use Canva. Don't use any other complicated apps. Use Canva to create your CV. Now, when that is done, the next thing I did on the 10th of May, I sent in my CV. And then on the 11th of May, I was invited to do a video interview. So now this is another interview that is also scored out by AI, unfortunately. So I had to do an AI video interview, and I wasn't talking to any AI or anything. No, I just had to make sure that I answered the questions, and they had 4 questions. 4 questions. It only asked me 4 questions, and I would advise you to do research on the role. Either you want to be a food and beverage team member, or food and beverage manager, or food and beverage team leader, whatever. Essentially, it's all around food and beverage. So I would advise you to do a bit of research. That's how I kind of prepared myself as well, because I had to go and look at other people's stories and journeys just to see how they did it and what really is food and beverage. So I did some research, and then they will ask you questions on this video interview. You usually have about 7 days to respond, and it's 7 days their time, not your time. So if you're living in South Africa, just be mindful of that, but just make sure that when you calculating the 7 days, you also keep in fact that the time zones are different. Okay, so it gave me 7 days to do the interview. So on the 11th of May, which is a Sunday, I got the video interview, the invitation to do a video interview. And then I did the video interview. Oh wait, I didn't even get to tell you guys what the video interview questions are. So there's 4 main questions. Number 1, introduce yourself. Obviously, please do not tell them about your favorite hobbies. Like, please tell them about your skills. Tell them what you are doing now that obviously fits to the criteria of the job. So for me, I introduced myself as a law student because I am somebody who, and I felt like that fit the job description, because it only needed high school certificate, like a high school diploma, and me saying I have a degree shows that, or me studying towards a degree shows that I have a high school diploma. And then not only that, I did research. I researched the position and what was the qualifications for the research, like what is a preferred candidate supposed to have. And I applied that, like I put those skills and said, I have these kind of skills in my thing. I didn't just say I have da-da-da. I'm like, oh, I am fluent in English. I am confident in my math skills and stuff like that. So I did that. Okay, cool. Okay, so that was the first, that was the first question. Second question is, why did you choose this role? Now, again, research. I chose this role because I'm interested in aviation, and I'm interested in understanding how the culture of the airport works and everything like that. Okay, so obviously do research on your own answers and make it more original to yourself. Okay, then the third question is, why Qatar? Okay, I think Qatar is that question becomes easier because you get to say, okay, like I chose Qatar because like Qatar is the Qatar, like 5-star, like come on, so you can just mix that in, and also make sure it aligns to your skills. Always find a way to put in your skills. Like if they ask you why you're interested in this role, yes, you can say like it's working with a company that really like understands the employees, but also make sure to include your role to be like, and it allows me to this role will probably challenge me in communicating fluently and improve my team working build, like something like that. Like just always include like some skills, like, okay. And then the final question is, take us through your experience either in customer service or in F&B, so food and beverage. I was honest. I said to them, like, I said in my interview, while I may not have the experience in particularly like food and beverage, I believe I'm a strong candidate because, or they'll ask you like why you're a strong candidate or something like that, and you can answer and say, while I may not have the skills, okay, I am confident in the fact that I'm willing to learn. I am somebody who's also who's very keen on meeting customers' needs and blah 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 blah. Like, obviously fit it to your skills again, okay? If you have the skills, great. If you don't have the F&B like skills, but you do have a customer service, again, market yourself, okay? So after that, your CV will be set. Not CV. Your video interview will be submitted, and they'll give you like, you have completed it, not really on email form, but like on the thingy. I sent it on the 13th of May, which was a Tuesday, and then I believe by the 18th of May, which is 5 days later, I got an email that they were now requesting my mandatory documents because they were inviting me to an interview. If you're applying for things like aviation, I'm gonna try and encourage you to quickly go and get your passport, because majority of these airlines want you to have a passport already. So for my mandatory documents, they asked me to submit my CV again and to submit a picture of my passport, and I can't remember what else, but I'll put up a picture here. And then also they told me to fill out a form, which I had to fill out like my passport numbers and stuff like that as well. So as I'm saying again, it's so important to have a passport. And I'm telling you, if you are above the age of 17 and you're living in South Africa, it's good for you, because once you get this passport, you're set. Like, I'm not even trying to be like funny, you're set, because the passport expires after 10 years. Please, if you're interested in aviation, cabin crew, airport crew, whatever, especially abroad, please get yourself a passport. So I uploaded those things onto the document, onto the site, onto the form, on their things. Make sure, again, just make sure that you are actually getting an email from Qatar Airways and not from just different weird scammers and stuff like that, okay? So then after that, that was the 18th of May. And then I got a message from a recruiter, and she was basically telling me about, okay, we basically got your documents and stuff like that. Now we're just setting up the interview. Please let me know if this date is available for you. And I was like, oh, okay, right. So we really doing this. So I obviously agreed to say, I guess that date would be great for me. And that date was the 27th of May. Okay, so remember, 18th of May, I submitted my document. 27th of May was my interview. Okay, so they asked me to confirm if I was available on the 27th of May. And I said I was. And then they told me this was going to be a panel interview. So I was going to be interviewed in front of a bunch of people. Okay, so I had to prepare myself, right? And on the 27th of May, I was around, like, again, remember, they always put a timeline, or they always put a time, and they say Doha time or something like that. Make sure that you know how to figure out time zones, because you don't want the excuse of you being late because you didn't, you know. And funny enough, the interview was only 10 minutes long. I mean, yeah, just 10 minutes. I had it from 1 p.m. to 1:10 p.m. like literally 10 minutes. That's all they need. So you better make sure they like you, okay? And again, this is basic for the aviation, especially if you're applying for anything in Qatar, even if it's a virtual recruitment, make sure you show up. They even tell you in the email to show up groomed. Make sure you are dressed neatly, you are formal, you know, you have a setup that is just private for you, not having people like interrupting you just for 10 minutes, right? Make sure your hair is, you know, neatly tied, you know, you're wearing formal, you look good, okay? And I would say if you're doing formal, wear a blouse, like a shirt, and a blazer, basic. Okay, so then on the 27th, let's take you to the 27th. On the 27th was my interview. So first thing they will ask you is like introduce yourself, okay? Quickly introduce yourself. As I said again, just like the video interview you did before. Okay, cool. Then they'll ask you why you choose Qatar. You tell them why you chose Qatar, and then they'll also ask you, are you comfortable with serving alcohol, and if you have a willingness to move to Doha, right? And then you have to, obviously the job is in Doha, so you would say yes, okay? And then they will ask you about your skills, just a bit about your background, like you have any previous experience in this role and stuff like that. And then you answer based on your skills. If you don't have, then just tell them you're willing to learn. Okay, and make sure that you feel also confident in yourself, that when you say I'm willing to learn, they also know that you're willing to learn, okay? And I did my interview at 1 p.m. and by 20 minutes later after the interview, my status was moved from interview in progress to offer to be made. Moved from interview in progress to offer to be made in the same day. So that means I was really good. Make sure you understand that you're a strong candidate. You cannot convince them that you're a strong candidate if you do not believe that yourself. Okay, so make sure you read the stuff, like make sure you read the qualifications of a preferred candidate. Make sure you understand in basic English. You understand basic English. They obviously will not test you, but they want to make sure that you understand basic English. Also, just don't be shy. Research. Don't be shy to research. I feel like sometimes it's not bad to carry so much knowledge. Research what F&B team members do. I literally watched people vlogging their opportunities and how they did it, like, and what they do as an F&B team member. I watched those vlogs. I was interested in those vlogs because I wanted to understand and put myself in that environment and understand what was going to be required of me. And don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Like, you want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward, and do it by making sure that you are well prepared. So yeah, that's the end of my video, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed.